What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video with Sarah and continuing on with her training. I'm really excited for this video because Sarah has improved a lot within the last week or two, and so I really hope you stay until the end and just watch how much she changes and how much her attitude changes. So as you can see right now, I'm just starting off with some lunging like always. I put a couple of pulls down for her to challenge herself a little bit and kind of mix it up rather than just going in boring circles. But I also wanted to address really quick why these videos are so sparse, because I know it's been a long time. I got Sarah way back in July and there's only 2 videos of her training. And really that's just because Sarah is at a point right now where she doesn't need to be doing this all the time and this type of training. A lot of what I'm doing with Sarah is just spending time with her. And as you can see right now, she wanted to turn around and go the other direction. But a lot of days when I go out to the barn with Sarah, I just spend time with her and brush her off and just walk her around and hang out with her while she eats her food. I don't like do this type of stuff all the time with her. So that's why these videos aren't as frequent. So yeah, I just wanted to address that quick. I don't think she's at a point right now where she needs to be doing this type of stuff 3 days a week or something like that. She just needs to get comfortable with people again. As you guys might know, she's been a pasture pet like her whole life, and she's 15 years old. So yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't notice it, but my camera got a little bit tilted. But right now, I'm just trying to pick up her feet. I just use a lead rope and I wrap it around her hoof and get her to pick up her hoof for like 1 or 2 seconds and then put it back down. It really sucks that my camera moved, otherwise you could see it. But doing her front feet has really been a struggle for her lately, and getting her to hold them up. So this is going to be a process, and I don't think she'll be seeing the farrier anytime soon. But yeah, it really has been a struggle for her to do the front legs. We're on to a new day, and this exercise I do with all green horses and horses that I'm starting, and occasionally with my own horses too, because it's a really great exercise to just regularly practice. So the only thing I've done with the whip with Sarah is lunge her. So every time I swing it at her, she's caught on to that, meaning move out or go faster when I swing the whip. So as you can see, she kind of moved away when I swung it at her, because I want to swing the rope over her, or the whip, and just pull it back and let it drop on the ground. Swing it over her again and just let it fall on her and rub her with it and all kinds of stuff. So your horse doesn't develop any fear of the whip, and it's just a nice relaxing exercise for the horse to think about. And so the only time she's ever encountered the whip is when I want her to move out and to lunge. So this exercise is something that she really needs to practice and that we're going to be doing often, because even still she likes to move around and move out whenever I do this with her. Alright, so now we're going to go on and do a little bit of lunging, and if you really pay attention in this clip, you can tell how much Sarah is pulling on me. This day she was really just pulling on the rope really good, and you'll see by the end of the video how that changes. The more I lunge her, the better she gets at kind of figuring out where I want her to move at and not pulling on me and pulling on me. Because every time she pulls on me like that, I pull right back at her. So she's going to eventually figure out that it's a lot easier if she just goes with the rope. And to mix it up a bit, I brought a bunch of bags from our sawdust and shavings and just put them on the ground. There's some water bottles there. And I just want her to just kind of check them out, maybe put a foot on them, walk over them if we're lucky. And I'm going to walk over them and step on them and crunch them and let her listen to the loud sounds from them, just because she's really never been desensitized to anything, and I want her to really look at it and think about it instead of just trying to avoid it. And as a little bonding moment, I'm just hanging out with her while we're done and she eats her green, and just having a quiet moment to relax together I think is really important at the end of a hard work section. And we're on to a new day, and right away I'm going to start off with the whip exercise again, and you'll see she's still pretty uncomfortable with it being on her and touching her and invading her space. And today I really get on her about holding still, because Sarah has definitely been pushy and impatient and doesn't want to stand and doesn't want to listen. So you can see here I get on her and say, knock it off, hold still. You're going to do this whether you like it or not. Because you can see she's looking around. She's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. So I really get on her about that and her need to pay attention to me, not just do whatever she wants. So I don't make Sarah do the pulls the first couple of times, but as we keep going, I keep pushing her and I keep telling her, all right, I want you to use your thinking muscles. And so I don't make her do it the first couple times, but as we keep going, I want her to do them. And she really tries to avoid them most of the time, or doesn't want to go over them. So it's good for her to use, her brain and think about things as we're going around, because Sarah definitely is one of those horses that would rather just go around in circles mindlessly and not really have to do any work and just kind of run around. So I keep introducing new things to her to get her in the habit of thinking about things, thinking about where her feet are going, and really paying attention to her surroundings. So I have not figured out why this happens yet, but as you can see, Sarah has much more attitude when we go this direction. She constantly is swinging her head like that in this clip, you'll see. And it got to the point where it was so obnoxious and so bad. Every time she would swing her head, you'll see me give her a yank on the rope, kind of like a knock it off type of yank. I mean, I'm not like giving it all my might, but to make it really uncomfortable for her. And you'll also see towards the end of this video how that progresses. And I can't figure out why. This just must be her bad side. All horses have a good side and a bad side, and she just does not like going this direction. She doesn't have any pain issues. All of her hair is out of her face, so I've concluded that this just is not her side and she doesn't like this direction. So yeah, you'll see me every time she does this give her a yank because it's seriously so obnoxious. You see she's done it like 10 times already in like 30 seconds. So So in comparison to the beginning of this video, you can see Sarah standing here and she's paying a bit more attention to me. She's still not fully there, but she's looking around less. She's more present of where we're at right now and paying attention to me rather than looking all over, moving around. So she's definitely progressing here and there. It all just takes time, but you can see in this video how it's definitely better than from the beginning. So Sarah's backing up skills are not great. So now I'm just doing a little bit of practice of backing up. I'm just wiggling that lead rope back and forth so she can get used to that feeling. And if she doesn't back up, I do it harder and harder until she backs up a few steps. So she was not really, I don't think, ever taught this. So I'm just walking her around and then backing her up, walking her around, backing her up so that we really get that practice and kind of drill it a little bit. I'm not going to do this every session, but she just needs to learn that and learn what that command means. Alright, we're finally getting down to the end here, but I wish I was a little more in frame. But look at how much better she is for this exercise, you guys. She's paying attention. She's just standing. She has gotten so much better after I really got on her about holding still and paying attention. She's just so much better. So I'm really happy with how she progressed right here and her patience. This was kind of just an out of the blue idea. I really wasn't even planning to do this, but just kind of out of nowhere, I was like, you know what? Let's just try and do a rollback and see how she does. And honestly, she did so good. Like, she just turned around, went the other way. Like, no fight, no fuss or anything. So I was really happy with how she stopped, thought about what I wanted, and then tried something rather than just like backing up or freaking out or whatever. So she did a rollback like no problem. Obviously it's not going to be perfect because I've never done this with her before, but I do that a few different times here just to mix things up. I can see Sarah is definitely going to be a horse that the same thing every single day will get really boring. So during her training sessions, I'm going to continually try to just throw things in there when she's not expecting it. You can also see she's much better about pulling hard on the rope and pulling on me. She still does it here and there a little bit. Usually at like when she gets close to the door, she'll pull that way. But it's so much better than how I was constantly having to hold on for dear life when we first started. So she's definitely gotten much softer on the rope that way. So I really want to teach Sarah to flex, and right now you'll see me trying to get her in this corner, which I didn't have a lot of luck with. But the only way I've ever taught a horse to flex their neck around is with treats and just giving them a little treat every time they pull their head in. But Sarah will not eat treats, you guys. She will not eat them. When I put them in her food, she just picks around them. She won't eat carrots. So I brought carrots to the barn this day and she wouldn't eat them. So I'm trying it without treats, which she actually does pretty good with. So I'm trying to get her into this corner, but damn horse won't go in the corner. So I put her in this corner so that she can't like turn and move around and just keep spinning as I try and bring her neck in. And she doesn't get too far today, but she does bring it in little by little. As you can see, she brought it in just a little bit there. Now she's trying to get out of here because she doesn't know what I want. But every time she just brings her neck in a little bit farther, I release and just do the pressure and release. Bring it in a little bit more, that's good. Bring it in a little bit more, that's good. So I have no idea if Sarah's ever been wormed this way. The only time I've wormed her was when I first got her and I used the pellets. So this is my first time worming her with a tube paste, and I had no idea how she was going to do. So I just went for it and figured I would capture it on camera just in case it was a disaster. So I'm just rubbing it on her nose because I always do that when I'm using the tubes, just so they're not like afraid of the tube or anything. And I just stick it in and squirt it in her mouth, and she was totally fine, you guys. She didn't care at all. I hold her head up so she can't spit it out, and I want her to lick her lips and stuff because otherwise they'll just spit out the whole glob. But she did so good. I was very happy with that because one of my mares is terrible with it. So I'm happy she won't have that as an issue. But let me know what you guys thought of this video down below. I'm super happy with how Sarah's progressing. Let me know what else you want to see, and I will see you in the next training video. Bye.